Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, as you can see, we are a level 50 Dragoon. So we are going to be tackling the level 1 through 50 story quests for Lancer and Dragoon. So, with that being said, you know how it goes. I hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you in just a little bit. Alright, it's time to become a Lancer. So, Jillian, can you point me in the right direction? Welcome to the Lancers Guild, adventurer. If you seek to refine your skills with the polearm, then you have come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, spirit wielders gather to train with one another and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. Do you seek membership with us? I would. Very well, I shall provide you with an insight into the history of our guild. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, and with the game ever plentiful in the Twelveswood, the weapon has been the mainstay of the locals here ever since the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became a gathering place for spearmasters from across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of our wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that their myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. The spear technique would be formalized and owed much to the founding of the Lancers Guild by wood whaler Captain Mystall nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of the polearm may not only survive but also continue to evolve. Well, there you have it. I hope this brief history of the guild has helped sell any doubts in your mind. The Lancers Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you will to enlist, speak with me again and we can begin the enrollment procedures. I'm all set to go. Well then, have you made up your mind to enlist in the Lancers Guild? Yes! Excellent! I shall have Guildmaster Wayne know to expect you. All who seek admittance to our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you're fit to become one of us. Make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. Alright, sir. Going back to my roots. This is where I first started out in Final Fantasy XIV. Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. I see you have some combat experience, yet it remains to be seen if such skills you have acquired will avail you here. Not quite. But no matter, in my capacity as a guildmaster, I shall guide you your training, beginning with very basics, the principles of our art. There exist a myriad fighting styles, each of which has its own unique qualities. None, however, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one attack, no matter what or who or what we face. An experienced Lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. To facilitate such a relentless assault, we Lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain. Such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. A Lancer's worth may be measured quite simply in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce his enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield, for good or ill. Even in a farmer's hand, it is capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has it been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. Yet know that a Lancer alone does not a Lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true Lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage, and that is why our guild has striven from the first to instill this essential quality in every soul who passes through our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you the resolve to wield the lance? Yes, that's what I came here for. Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks. I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Wayne, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged. I shall add to your hunting log the names of the creatures against which a Lancer might hone his skills. In celebration of the occasion, I hereby present you with your own spear. Arm yourself with it and speak to me once more. I would have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. Just so you know, I've been doing the hunting logs as I go through the other jobs. So they're good for experience, at least the early levels up to level 30. 30 onwards, it kind of slows down, but early on, it's a great source of XP. Alright. Let me sort my inventory out because it's a right mess. Now... do that for the time being. And let's make a gear set. Add another gear set to the roster. And yeah. I'll worry about the rest of the hotbar later. So you're able to discern on one end of the spear from the other. Good. I mean, is that that difficult? Which end's the pointy end? You are doubtless eager to put your new weapon to the test, which is well, for I too have a test in mind, or rather, a trial. In order to develop an affinity with your weapon and learn to gauge such things as distance, you are to go forth and pit yourself against the creatures that roam just outside the city. The squirrels, ladybugs, and fungers should provide you with a suitable challenge. Put down, let's say, 3 of each, then report back to me. I'll do that, and then we'll be back. I'm gonna be doing the same thing as I did with Monk, cutting out all the mindless, mundane, kill this, return here, done quests. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right. Alright, we are back. I've killed what needs to be killed. I got to level 5. Wayne, what do you think of my performance? So, you're back. I trust you'll learn something of the essence of our art. A lancer learns best what he's doing when he's doing, each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come in time. But never forget, courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. That as well, it is clear you see the truth in my words. That will be all for the present. Now take up your weapons, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. Next to me, I hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. I'm already there, buddy. Ah, you've returned. I take it from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good. You are to begin with the next phase of your training. You will recall my telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something which one finds unnerving. However, our lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn this distinction between courage and recklessness, he then divides the former into aspects. I'll have you learn each with spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all his training will swiftly flee his mind and he will struggle to overcome opponents whom he would ordinarily have bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a lancer in sooth, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this and you'll be able to call upon every ounce of your strength and skill when it matters most. And so, to your first task, the riverbanks of the central shot are home to Vilekin known as Yarzans. Fiercely territorial, the creatures will attack anyone who strays too close, making them the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, and barring all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of the victim in that instant? Panic? Despair? Be sure to tell me upon your return. Needless to say, I will have you brave such an encounter. Take the sack of decidedly noisome bait and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be that only one curious Yarzan appears, but if 2 or 3 follow the scent, let's see how you fare then. Go then, now, my young lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. Alright. Alright, I've killed the Yarzan, sir. What's my next task? Welcome back, Cecila, and well done. I trust you now understand that in times of direst need, no amount of strength or skill with the spear will avail this lancer who lacks composure. You are now ready to learn the second aspect of a lancer's there's courage, resolve. When faced with a terrible foe, a lancer may succumb to fear and self-doubt. Should this happen, he will become defensive, and seeking to cover his weakness, surrender his greatest strength. namely his capacity to attack. A lancer who fears to attack is not but a man holding a pole. His spear may as well be a broomstick. For all good it would do to him, it is not, and will never be a shield. That you may learn the truth from his words firsthand, I bid you go to the central shroud to an area adjoining the abandoned dungeon known as Spirit Hold. Since the calamity, that neck of the 12s has become a veritable menagerie of fearsome fauna. There you'll find 3 collapsed pillars, which will become a haunt for fell creatures. You are to put them down. What manner of fiends can you expect to encounter? To reveal that would be to defeat the purpose of the lesson, my young Lancer. I will only say this: if you face those foes with the Lancer's resolve, you will surely emerge the victor. Once you've completed the trial, report to Jillian in the entrance hall. She has grasped the 2 aspects of courage, albeit with some trouble. Though I doubt you'll encounter similar difficulties, her struggle has furnished her with certain insights which I think you would benefit from hearing. A Lancer learns best when he's doing but the wisdom of his seniors is not entirely without forth. Go now, Cessa, and do as I bid you. Alright. Easy. I can do that, no problem. This guild's demanding. Okay, so, Jillian. What would you have me do? I've been expecting you, Cessa. By your return, I trust you now understand the importance of resolve. Like one's flesh and courage can be made strong. It's a matter of training each of its aspects. Now, the endeavor may prove difficult in the beginning. Gods know how much I struggled. You may suffer untold humiliation with more frustration than you can bear, but you must persevere. Whenever you engage an opponent, whether in training or in earnest, make a conscious effort to fight with composure and resolve. Over time, doing so will become a second nature, and you will acquire such courage as you never thought could be yours. Mind you, not all battles entail a physical clash of might. It could simply be a disagreement born of a conflict in ideology. The point is, it matters not what battlefield you stand upon. So long as you take care to be composed and resolute, your courage will grow. Did that make any sense? Even a little? I fear I can't hold a candle to Guildmaster Wayne, but if there's all I can do to assist in your training... What was that? What was that? Something's afoot in the training area. Uh-oh. What's going on? Uh-oh, that didn't sound good. I just became a Lancer and shit's already going down. Good lord, what's happening here? Oh. What's this? And you call yourselves Lancers? Pathetic. You're next, Guildmaster. Arm yourself and face me. Refuse and all will know that you're no true Lancer. Say what you will, I am above provocation. Craven to the last man. But what have we here? Wait, she is but a novice. That makes no odds to me. You yourself admitted her to your ranks, did you not? Cold stare. Well, very well. I shall withdraw for now. Yet no, only the fearless are fit to fight wear the mantle of Lancer. I look forward to measuring your worth in the days to come. Well, what a fine welcome this is. There is not more to see. Return to your drills. God damn, I just became a Lancer and shit's already gone down. You didn't see this kind of drama in the previous guilds already? Usually the drama doesn't start till like level 15. Wayne, what's going on here, buddy? Cecily, you made no attempt to evade his thrust. Did your opponent still unnerve you as to despise you, to deprive you of your senses? Well, there's a little consequence now. You need only pay no further heed to our uninvited guest. Lest you wonder, it is not uncommon for challengers to come pounding on our door, seeking to test their mettle. For now, dedicate yourself to tempering the 2 aspects of courage. The composure to bring the sum of your strength, and the skill to bear against your foes. And the resolve to attack when fear should stay your hand, as befits a lancer. Next to me, I shall have another trial for you, one that will put your courage to the test. Until then, continue to apply yourself to your training. Farewell, Cecila. I don't need any of this, but thank you, sir. I will take the weapon now, because I couldn't buy one. I was like shit on the market board. Alright, so that's the level 1 and 5 quests. So I'll be back when we're level 10. Alright. We are level 11. So Wayne, what's our level 10 quest? What would you have me do now? What's my next trial? Courage of Stone. Cecila, I swear, you have gained an ailment around the arm since last we spoke. It is plain that you have not been idle. In our previous lesson, you learned the Lancer's definition of courage and how you might go about tempering its two aspects. Today, we shall find out if your efforts have borne fruit. I see you have come prepared for battle, that as well. Your next trial will place you in the midst of a throng of enemies. In such a situation, you may be attacked from any direction, making it difficult to respond appropriately. Furthermore, the likelihood of being surrounded is high. Will your resolve bear the weight of uncertainty? Will your composure hold when the odds stacked against you? We shall soon find out. Should you overcome this trial, what courage you already possess will be further tempered. Now heed me well, for this is what you must do. I would have you travel to the naked rock where the Annals claim dominion. At the summit of the rock is a sacred artifact, the Stone of Courage. You must claim it and bring it to me. If you are to reach my destination, you'll need to negotiate a path through a whole pack of flesh-eating skeleton. Make no mistake, the creatures are intimidating foes. To stride into the midst of so many would ask much of a lancer's courage. But given time, and no small amount of perseverance, I am confident you'll prove equal to the task. Alright, I can do that. It sounds like a simple task, so let's do it. To the Sensor Shroud! I'll tell you what. I mentioned it before, but Lancer was the first job I ever did. It was my first. It was the job I did when Final Fantasy 14 hits the PS3 trial, believe it or not the trial, the beta, and it was the same job that I took into the full game, up until the end of Heaven's Ward. Cutscene already? Man, there's so much shit happening with Lancer. Congratulations, you have obtained the false Stone of Courage. Aye, you heard me right. False. But what does that say about your courage, I wonder? But where are my manners? My name is Fulkey. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Lancers Guild, if you recall. On that occasion, I turned my weapon upon you, but betrayed not a hint of fear. It was in that instant that I sensed that you were unlike the others, that you had promise. And so to the presence, in its current state, the trial in which you are engaged, if trial it may be called, makes a mockery of the Lancers are. Needless to say, this cannot be tolerated. And so I have taken the liberty of moving the Stone of Courage to a more suitable location. It now resides in the depths of Spearhold, under the guard of fell fiends. A far more fitting challenge, as I'm sure you will agree. Whether or not you attempt to retrieve the stone is for you to decide. If you fear for your safety, I suggest you run back to the guild and bemoan the world's frightfulness to the many brave souls who cower there. Wayne will doubtless consider it to be a supremely courageous act. Yet know that a lancer may forge the true courage only in the midst of a great danger. Can't tell if I like this guy or if I don't like him. I've gotten so many max potions from the Palace of the Dead. I didn't realize how many I had. Good lord. Usually I throw away potions and such, but potions are very good, very handy in Palace of the Dead. All right. Where's the stone at? Aha. Give me my stone. All right, with stone in hand, we return to the Lancer Guild. So you've returned. Tell me, were you able to obtain the Stone of Courage? Albeit a little detour. Yes, this is indeed the stone, though it is in a rather worse condition than when I last saw it. What happened at Naked Rock? The lance who but recently threatened you moved the stone to Spearhold. Not content with trespass and slander, but the brazen fool now meddles with our training. 7 hells! This is not to be borne. Listen, Sessa, though I do not doubt that you would know better, my duty as guildmaster compels me to state the obvious. Heed not that man's words. That a lance's courage can be only forged in the midst of great danger is a vainglorious tripe. As you have already learned, a lance's courage is the product of composure and resolve. Be under no misapprehension. Watchfully navigating the Annull's territory served to temper your courage in a manner that blindly braving the terrors of Spearhold did not. As you continue your training, pray keep the lesson of this child close to your heart. I will do that. Alright, I got a level out of 2. Sweet. Alright, so I will be back when we're level 15. Alright, we are rank level 16. So Wayne, what's the next task you have for me? The dangerous proposition, huh? Ah, Cecily, you come at a good time. I urgently require your help. Scarcely a Belagar, our old friend Falque, paid us another visit, seemingly intent upon reprising the performance he gave them the day of your first meeting. As on that occasion, he raved till the air was thick with slanders, declaring every soul who met his gaze more craven than the last. This time, however, not all ears were deaf to his myriad provocations. It seems one of our younger members took offense to his words and demanded satisfaction of the rogue. The two have since departed to duel in the East Shroud. Had I been on hand, I would have forbidden such folly and rebuked the lad for letting pride cloud his judgment. Alas, I learned of it too late, and the boy is gone. All we can do now is ensure that the hot-headed fool does not come to lasting harm. I would have departed in pursuit of the pair ere you came, but my duties keep me here. That is why I turn to you now, Cecilla. Pray go to the East Shroud in my stead and watch over our comrade. Oh boy. What's going on? Let's see if we can check out this guy in action, shall we? Alright, I gotta go up there. Man, so much action with this guild, with this job already. We're only starting out. Shit. So we meet again. You remember who I am, I trust. I do. But of course you remember your mentor, he who taught you the true meaning of courage. I understand you're able to retrieve the stone of courage and spirit hold. It seems I was right about you. You have the makings of a true lancer, unlike those charlatans at the Lancers Guild. It is well that you've come to me, for I have just a trial for you, one that will do wonders for your courage. Not interested, you say? But you have no choice. Should you refuse, well, suffice it to say that I will not be able to guarantee the safety of your comrade here. When last we spoke, I told you a lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. Needless to say, the threat posed by ordinary creatures is insufficient. You must needs seek out better sport. But fear not, for I have taken the liberty of finding you something suitable. Take this alchemic potation and sprinkle it upon the exposed roots yonder. Doing so will garner you the wrath of a certain creature, which you must then strike down. Alright. I don't like doing your bidding, but I have no choice, really. When I'm gonna fight a Trent. I knew it! Why am I not surprised? I missed. How did I miss? Alright, sir. I killed your, lean, green, mean Trent. So, you vanquished the Trent. Well done. By striking down that frenzied creature, you have further strengthened your courage. At least your comrade. Oh, I shall. Once you complete my next trial, this one will pit you against a multitude of foes. Make your way to the life men's stump and central shroud. Once there, seek out a likely spot along the forest path to line way. Man-eating wolves are wont to hunt there at this time of year, and it should not be long before a pack appears. When the beasts show themselves, you are to slay their leader, the alpha wolf. I shall be observed from up close, the better to offer you advice. I don't like how this guy is just ordering me around. You know, I'm starting to not like this guy. As much as I would love to have work on healer, I want to finish off tank. So as much as I would love to have regen, we're going with this. So we're sticking with the tank route. Once I finish off the tank route for Ragnarok, I will focus on healer. Alright. Time to slay some wolves. Tis as good as over if the alpha wolf paralyzes you. Your cold hold in the face of terror, we shall see. Courage is forged only in the midst of great danger. That's right, I don't have Lance Charge. I grow deathly bored. Let me make this more interesting. How dare you? Sure, Lance needs not his eyes to win, only his courage. This guy's just making it difficult for me. Oh dear, it seems you have been raised a beast. My part here is done. The rest I'll leave to you. Down goes the wolf pack. You are to be congratulated, Cecil. By throwing yourself into the midst of danger, you have further tempered your courage. And in the process, you have brought peace to the Lifemen's Stump, a place considered sacred by the people of Gridania. Having undertaken my trials, you must now see that those issued by the guild are not but child's play. Mine is the one true path of courage. All others lead to ignominy. If you wish to become a lancer worthy of the name, I suggest you leave Wayne and his cravens, never to return. No thanks. For your sake, I pray you do so soon, till we meet again. You ain't my teacher. You don't pay my sub! Alright. I'll do what I want. Alright, sir, I got some. What happened to my comrade? Cecil, thank the gods you're safe. That young fool of a lancer returned but moments ago. Then, through choked tears, recounted to me all that transpired. I understand if Foul Quay again attempted to force upon you his corrupted notion of courage. I cannot say this often enough. A lancer strengthens his courage by tempering his composure and resolve, not by rushing headlong into danger. That's the mindset of a dragoon. Huh. You look at the joke later on. You were able to overcome Folkways' trials, 'tis true, yet know that you did so by virtue of true courage, that is, courage born of composure and resolve. You faltered not before the fury of a frenzied Trent, nor did you succumb to a panic when surrounded by bloodthirsty wolves. Owing to this, you are able to perform to the fullest of your potential. You have come far, Cecil. It's past time that I taught you the piercing talon technique, one of the most versatile weapons in the Lance's arsenal. May it serve you well. Now, I must needs decide what course of action to take with regard to your self-appointed mentor. Though no lives were lost, this latest incident only served to confirm that what I have long suspected, that Fulquay will cause great harm if I left to propagate his corrupted notion of courage. He must be persuaded to desist, though I do not yet know how. Mayhap his regard for you could be turned to our advantage, but leave such considerations to me. For the time being, you would do well to put Falquay from your mind. Focus on your training and strive to master the technique I have taught you. I look forward to our next meeting. Alright, buddy. You do you. I don't need any of that. Nice! A skill I rarely ever use, but I'll take it. It's a skill I never use as a Dragoon. But that's the level 15 quest, so we'll be back when we're level 20. Alright, we're level 20. Wayne, have you figured out what you're gonna do about our rogue lancer? I've been expecting you, Cecil. You've been training hard, I trust. I would set you your next trial, one more dangerous than any of you have faced before. But I would not send an unprepared woman to her death. Before we proceed, I must needs to verify your progress with my own eyes. You'll face 3 experienced lancers in single combat. Defeat each one in succession, you'll prove yourself fit to undertake the trial. Arm yourself and take your place in the training area. We begin when you're ready. Oh, there's a thing. Alright. Let's do it. No one has to hold back. Begin! I did not mean to do that. Disembowel is a useless thing until I get Chaos Thrust. Until then, Disembowel is absolutely useless. But it's weaker than Vorpal Thrust. So, like so. So Disembowel is a useless combo until we get Chaos Thrust. Next! Enough! Put up your lance! What'd you think, my skills? Well done, Cecila. What'd you think? Impressed? Impressive, Cecila. Most impressive. You're ready to face the trial. Yeah, I did not exaggerate when I said it would be dangerous. Make no mistake, to take this test is to risk death. Knowing this, do you still wish to proceed? Why do you have to ask me that? You disappoint me. Back again, are you? That woman is the only soul in this pathetic excuse for a guild who shows any promise. Which is why I consoled her to leave you. Alas, she chose to remain in your house of cravens. Such a waste. The guild has outlived its purpose, and I mean to see its doors shut and barred for good. If you wish to object, I invite you to do so with lance in hand. You do not want for conference, sir. But answer me this, what grudge do you hold against us? For what reason did you choose this of all crusades? I detest cravens who would proclaim their courage and like nothing better than to crush them. That is my reason. Well, the fixity of your purpose is clear, even if your reasoning is not. So be it. Suffice it to say, you'll not have your way without a fight. Oh, and do not presume that I will be your opponent. No, you must face Lancer, whom you so grandly claimed mentorship. The one woman among us whose potential you just condescend to acknowledge. Cecila shall represent us all. As guildmaster, I wager the fate of the guild upon her lance. Ha! Do as you will, coward. It is your guild to throw away. You may even set the terms of the contest. Very well. Cecila is here to undertake a trial. I challenge you to complete the task before she does. You are to travel to the east and prove your courage before the Lord of the Bramble Patch. He is a giant amongst boars, unrivaled in strength and savagery, the ruler of over all his kind. You must go before his fearsome creature and stand your ground. Know, though, that the Lord of the Bramble Patch will not grant an audience just to anyone. You must needs present him an offering of the bloody tusks of his subjects, the wild boars that inhabit his domain. When you have prepared your offering, leave it upon an area of trampled earth. Drawn to the stench of blood, the Lord of the Bramble Patch will soon arrive. That is all. Are there any questions? No? Then let the trial commence. Oh, I gotta defeat 10 boars. Oh, that's quite a hefty task. All right, so once I've beaten my 10 boars, got my tusks, we will be back. All right, I've got my boar tusks. Let's leave the blood-soaked tusks here, and we'll fight ourselves. Those are huge tusks. We'll fight the Lord of the Bramble Patch. It looks angry. Alright, I take you on. This wager is as good as one. Behold the true meaning of courage. His subjects are elemental spirits? Alright. Kind of weird for a board to command fire and water sprites, but he's not impressed. Oh. Man got fucked. That's what you get for being arrogant. You shan't find much sport in these two. Come back another day, my friend. Well done, Sessa. You've completed the trial. I trust you now to see the truth in my words. Hurling yourself into the midst of danger is not courage, it is folly. No, this proves nothing. I refuse. I refuse to accept. You refuse to accept the weakness within you. No, Sessa. Leave him be. Your work here is done. Return to the guild. I shall see you there presently. Alright. That was fun. Back to the guild we go! Oh, lordy, lordy, lord! I will not lie to you. You are no match for the Lord of the Bramble Patch. Had you betrayed any hint of fear, he would have gored you in the space of a moment and feasted on your entrails. But you stood your ground, holding fast to your composure and resolve. Thus were you able to stare terror in the face and survive unscathed. Well done, Sessa. You have overcome the greatest hurdle in the quest to become a master of your own courage. You may now bring to bear the full extent of your abilities upon even the mightiest of foes. As for Folkway, well, if there is a shred of reason left in him, he'll have learned the self-same lesson as you this day. Painful though the experience must surely have been, no one can only hope that it will serve to open his eyes to the truth. Go forth, Sessa, and prepare yourself for further trials. I look forward to our next meeting. I bet you will. Alright. Did I put new gear on? Okay, I did. So yeah, that is the level 20, quest. We'll be back when we're level 25. Alright, we are here. We're level 25. And I was mistaken in the last part where I said Disembowel was a useless combo. Disembowel is not a useless combo. Yes, it doesn't go. Yes, it's not a full combo to Chaos Thrust, but I forgot. It has a buff that it gives us. So yeah, disregard what I said about Disembowel. Questions and Lancers. It is good to see you again, Sessa, and stronger than when we last spoke. Plainly, you've devoted many hours to training, which is just as well, for I have a mind to set you for your next task. At the Bramble Patch, you came to grasp the true meaning of courage. I'll have you put that courage to the proof before the three masters of our art. In the many years since they began their training within these walls, these men have led very different lives, yet they share the distinction of being regarded amongst the finest lancers of their time. And just as they once looked to their seniors for inspiration, so too shall you look to them. By availing yourself of their wisdom, you will take another step toward becoming a fully fledged Lancer. Your first instructor is a man named Methami. Seek him out at Alma's Spire in the East Shroud, where he serves as a frontier sentry. The long years at his post have honed Methami's perception. No detail escapes the man's piercing gaze. Present yourself before him for inspection, Cecil, and do as he bids you. Alright. East Shroud? I can do that. That's the tower, right? That's overlooking Baelsar's wall. Yes, it is. Alright, where's this guy at? There you are? You must be the young Lancer I was told to expect. Greetings and well met. I am Athami, commander of the brave men and women of the Spire. Now, let's have a good look at you. I see. You possess strength and skill in abundance, of this there is no doubt, but you still have want for experience. Oh, I don't doubt you've seen much and more. Mayhap you believe there is not left for there to unnerve you. Yet the world is wide, and only the gods can claim to know all. You may be assured that the legendary Lancers of old faltered at times. No Lancer, nor any man can foresee all its possibilities, but he can steal himself from the unexpected. I would have you do just that. Take this bottle of fresh spoken blood and sprinkle it at the foot of the great tree to the north. Doing so will lure out creatures of the night which you are fit to vanquish. Alright. Great tree to the north, huh? This gigantic beast? Bats! And away I go. Welcome back, lass, and well done. I bore witness to your battle with my own eyes. How could you bear witness to my battle when it's in the other side of the tree? Well, I guess I can see that person fighting too. The bloodbath bewilders its prey with its ceaseless flittering, and which makes putting a spear in the beast an exercise to frustration. Frustration that may easily have given rise to panic, yet to your credit you fought on resolutely, and thus emerged the victor. Wayne has taught you well, young one. You have a way to go, to be sure, but beneath those rough-hewn edges I see the makings of a great Lancer. With my blessing, make your way to Buscaroon's Druthers in the South Shroud. It is there you have your next instructor. Buscaroon himself awaits. The man had a unique approach to our art, though it's a fair while since he hung up a spear. His words are well worth hearing. Indeed, Lancers visit him as much as his counsel as they do his mead. Good though it is, by meeting Buscaroon and availing yourself to his knowledge, your lance work will surely improve. Alright. Gonna go see our old buddy Buscaroon. One of the few places I'd like to idle around. I don't know why I like Buscaroon's area, but I think I mentioned it before when I last came through here. But this place, yeah. I don't know why, but I like just idling around here. Well, if it isn't Wayne's protege, I thought it was about time you arrived. I'm Buscaroon, and this here's my place. In case you're wondering why old Wayne sent you, I should mention I've not always been in the food and drink business. Before I opened up the Druthers, I manned an outpost not far from here. Any road between keeping throats wet and bellies full, I ain't got a great deal to chat just now. So if you don't mind, I'll get on with educating you. Now take this nice bottle of full flower mead. Wait, don't open it. This ain't that kind of lesson. No, I want you to make an offering at Mistale's lance, which was a monument tucked away in the rocky cleft to the south of here. See the bottle safely there, complete with its contents, and when you come back, I'll tell you a story. Got all that? Good. Alright. That way! Oops. So you offered up meat as I told you, and without drinking a drop? Very well, you shall have a tale of meat as promised. Mistale is a man who founded the Lancers Guild, and the monument I sent you was erected in his honor. Mistale was courage made flesh. Cut him, and I dare say he'd have blood to stuff. And it was him who first identified the two aspects of a lance's courage, as well as how to go about tempering them. And that weren't all he did. Seeing how the art gone stale, what with our lances keeping in the confines of the Twelveswood, he has sought to bring in the new techniques and methods from faraway lands. But Gridania was a different place in his day. The outside world was a thing to be shunned back then, and non-forestborn were considered faithless savages. Aye, it was even worse then now. Of course, old Mistale wasn't afraid to call that way of thinking the way it was. A lot of ignorance and cowardice. To cut a long story short, despite a force full of good old Gridanian stubbornness, he finally convinced the nation to open its doors to foreign lancers, and by blending their techniques with his own, he gave the world the art which you now practice. To this day, the Lancer Guilds accept students regardless of their origin. That wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for Mistale. Us Lancers owe him much and more, and it's our charge to carry on his legacy. Never forget that. Eh? What's that? What's a trial? Much as I hate to disappoint, there isn't one. Your courage was never in doubt, lass. My part in your training's done. This time you visited your third and final instructor, a fellow named Valclair. You'll find him whiling away his time at the Bobbing Cork, like as not. Oh, that's the name of an inn in the Falgore Float, in case you don't know. Up in the North Shroud, it is. Valclair is an old rival of mine. Me and him used to go at it until neither man could lift his spear tip off the ground. I warn you, he was a right stubborn bugger back then, and the years ain't done much to improve his humors. So, good luck with impressing him. Thanks. Thanks for the warning, I guess. Alright. Where's this guy at? Where you at, buddy? You upstairs? Oh! Muted just in time. There you are. I take it you're here. You're the young lancer of whom Wayne spoke. An adventurer besides, by the look of you. I was an adventurer myself once. That was before I became a lance for hire. But enough idle talk. You have come to learn from me, and learn from me you shall. Be warned though, you'll not find me as lenient as an instructor as the others. Now pay attention. Thus far, you have learned to muster your courage in situations of fear, panic, and uncertainty. With me, you'll learn to do so in the face of change. The enemy is a living thing, and living things are apt to change. Whatever the nature of that change, the lancer must be able to think and adapt. And to think and adapt during battle requires courage. To teach you the meaning of my words, I would have you challenge a fiery fiend known as the Red Balloon. However, the creature will appear only where there is a raging flame. You may kindle such a flame by procuring 6 fingers from slain balloons and depositing them at a gutted campfire. This should suffice to entice the Red Balloon. As the battle wears on, the creature's fury shall burn with ever greater fervor until it's ripe to burst in a conflagration of death. Let courage lend strength to your lance and extinguish this fiery foe. Great! I will do that, and we'll be back when I have killed 6 balloons. Got my 6 balloons. Let's get this, let's go kill ourselves a red balloon now. Alright. The oversized bomb. It's getting bigger. It's a super big balloon. Look at. All right. I'll be back for those later. Alright, guy, I killed your balloons. Are you impressed? So, you vanquished the red balloon. No less than what I would expect of one of Wayne's. Your enemy altered its nature throughout the encounter, thereby causing turns of battle to shift repeatedly. Not really. I only had to stun it once. Yet, ever did you press onward, your courage holding firm in the midst of constant change. So, it was that you emerged triumphant. I am not known for being liberal with my praise, but you have done well. Yours is a genuine courage. Mind you, this does not give you a license to forsake your training. You are still but a fledgling among us after all. I have finished with you. You may report back to Wayne, and when you do, tell that young upstart that I demand he show his face from here from time to time. That is all. Did they really put you through the ringer with this? As a Lancer. The other jobs so far haven't been this demanding. Old Vauclair demands I show my face? Ha! I can only assume the buxom brunette at the float isn't lavishing him with the attention he craves. Very well, so I shall see what I can do. As for you, Cecilla, well done. I never doubted that you would meet with the approval of all three men, yet I am no less proud of you having done so. You have traveled far along the Lancer's path, and soon you will no longer require my guidance. In fact, you need overcome but one further trial to complete your education here. Do so, and I'll give you my blessing to leave the Lancer's Guild and embark upon a new adventure with spear in hand. As ever, apply yourself to your lance work and return when you are ready for your final challenge. I look forward to our next meeting. Oh. Alright, so that is the level 25 quest. We'll be back when we hit level 30. And here we are, level 30. Wayne, what is my final task to become a full-fledged Lancer? What would you have me do? Cecilla, ever a sight for sore eyes. By your return, I take it you're ready for the final trial. Very well, let us... Kill Master Wayne! You're wounded. What has happened? We were attacked, sir, by a dusk-white Lancer. As we trained in the forest. He was impossibly strong. A demon! He kept screaming something about teaching us true courage. No, not him. Not Falquay. We were in the northwest corner of the central shroud when it happened. I was able to get away, but the others... You must help the others. Be strong, man. I'm sorry, Cecil, the trial must wait. Probably make haste to the central shroud and help your comrades. And Cecilla, should Falquay force your hand, do what must be done. 'Twill speed you on your way. Uh-oh. Is he drunk on power? Oh boy. Alright, where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, I'm going way up there, huh? Alright. Uh-oh. Somebody's lances have been left behind. That's not a good sign. Proof of might. Alright. Where you at, Falquay? Falky? Help! For the love of 12, help me! Uh-oh. Help me, please! Alright. You alright, sir? I owe you my life, friend. Another breath and I would have become worm fodder. A Duskwhite Lancer unleashed the fiends on upon us, claiming it would temper our courage. You should have seen the look in his eye when he said it. Mad bastard. Where'd he go? Where is he at? Huh? Where is he now? I think he headed out towards the North Shroud. Maybe in the direction of Falgor Float? I can't say for sure. I was concentrating on the Skeleton at the time. If it is a reckoning you seek, you are likely to be disappointed. Those of us who managed to outrun the worms will already have alerted the whalers. I dare say the Duskwhite is being held at spear point as we speak, begging for his worthless life in the puddle of his own piss. Serves the bastard right and all. I don't know about that. For considering who we're dealing with, I highly doubt that's the case. So much for the whalers. What kept you? Helping your comrades, you say? Fool, you waste your pity on false friends. It is only a matter of time before they betray you. Aye, just like those wretches who saw me imprisoned and exiled. I was once an upright citizen of Gridania, and a man of the Lancers Guild, yet life was not easy. For want of the coin to obtain the barest necessities, I conspired with my closest comrades to steal from the guild's coffers. The theft soon came to light, and though there were no suspects, it was clear that the deed had been perpetrated by someone within the ranks. An air of suspicion hung heavy over the guild for them from that day forth, until at last, unable to bear the guilt, I convinced my accomplices to join me in confessing. Only for them to bite their craven tongues after I stepped forward and admitted my part in the crime. And so it was that I alone took the blame. Of course it was the Duskwhite, everyone said. Was there ever any doubt? And it all made perfect sense. Despite my heartfelt pleas, my so-called friends denied any involvement. Instead, they called me vulgar names that I do not care to repeat. Can you imagine the shock and anguish I felt at their betrayal? Would that I had had the strength to force the truth out of those traitors. Would that I had had the courage to escape my dungeon cell, even if it meant taking some hapless guard's life. Driven by vengeance and no small amount of self-loathing, I resolved to forge my courage anew. I strode into the lairs of ravenous fiends while drenched in blood. I put their helpless offspring to the spear that I might face the unbridled fury of their kin. For my efforts, I have acquired the ultimate courage. A courage forged amidst danger and tempered by rage. I fear nothing. I'm the greatest Lancer that has ever lived. Now you see about that. settle this once and for all. You are the Soul Lancer worthy of the name. By defeating you, I will prove my courage. Man's got moves. He will not get the better of me. I'm already gotten the better of you, sir. Oh, of course. You summoned allies. Can't fight your own battles? You think me without honor? To hell with your honor. I fight for victory and I'll stop at nothing to attain it. Get out of here, foul key. Impossible. My courage is absolute. And I'm getting close to the edge too. No! Come no closer! Bye, sir. You're gone. Can't survive that fall. He had it coming. He had it coming, sir. Alright. Well, he's out of the picture. So, Falky is no more. His was a tragic tale, and one that might have been so different. Had fate not dealt him such a cruel hand, he could have commanded a place of honor within these halls. But it avails us not to dwell upon what might have been. It is enough that you are still with us, Cecilla. Lest you wonder about your final trial, there will be none. I have seen all I need to see. You have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that yours is a genuine courage. In recognition of this, I shall pass you the secrets of Lance Charge, one of the most potent buildings in our arsenal. You are a lancer in your own right now. There is not more I can teach you. From here onwards, it's up to you to seek out challenges as will make you grow. Like attracts like, then the strong are drawn to strength. Just as I once knew for a certainty that I was destined to face the Lord of Bramble Patch, so too will you find, or be found by, an adversary of equal worth. No, none can say what fate will bring, but armed with your courage, there is naught you need fear. Keep close to your heart the lessons you have learned here, and go forth to blaze a new trail with spear in hand. Thanks for the pep talk, guy. Alright. And that's it for the Lancer quests. Now we can go off into to the Dragoon side. Alright, sir. What's my next challenge? I have the dragon. I dare say you might just be the right one for the job. The guild has an urgent need of a capable Lancer for a mission beyond our nation's borders. Hear me out if you will. I received word from an Ishgardian friend to the effect that he requires our aid. I'll have you go and provide that aid. As you may already know, due to her ongoing conflict with the dragons, Ishgard has kept her gates closed to outsiders for some time. The occasional Dragoon on patrol duty is about all folk see these days. Ishgard's already opened the doors, and the war is already over. Sir, have you not heard the news? Again, this is the same thing with monks, with the whole Alamigo thing. By the time you would be doing this, Ishgard would still be closed. In spite of her self-imposed isolation, however, the Holy See has never failed to honor her obligation to her allies. It is only fitting that we answer the call and lend what assistance we can. To this end, we offered to dispatch a contingent of wood whalers with all haste, but were politely informed that they would not be welcome, much to our initial confusion. It was later explained that we were dealing with a matter of some sensitivity, best handled by individuals who are capable and trustworthy, yet unbound by allegiance. And who fits that description save adventurers? Secrecy being paramount, I can provide no details as to the nature of the task. All you need to know is will be revealed at the rendezvous point. Should you accept the mission, take yourself to the observatorium. A knight by the name of Sir Alberic will receive you upon arrival. Alright. It would be nice if the storylines actually coincided with where you're at in the story, but unfortunately that's just not the case. That includes any characters you might meet along the way. Any characters that you already know in the story, you don't know in the job quests. Like Buscaroon, for instance, and a couple of other people that we've come across. You must be the adventurer of whom Wayne sent word. Greetings and well met. I am Sir Albert Bale, Knight of Ishgard. The Holy See is much obliged to you for your aid. Time being of the essence, I shall proceed straight to the heart of the matter. The eye, an Ishgardian relic of immeasurable worth, has been stolen, and we have reason to believe the culprit has come this way. So it is that we ask your assistance in its recovery. The thief had been identified as a man named Estinian, a Dragoon sworn to the service of the Holy See. You heard true. The crime was perpetrated by one of our own, and an individual in a position of trust and no little honor. You may be assured that a fate worse than death awaits him upon capture. This is what confuses me. I mean, according to this guy, Estinian is a wanted man, but when you actually get into Ishgard, Estinian is like pretty famous and a good guy. My duty is to see the sea afford me a little opportunity to travel far beyond the walls of Ishgard, and must confess to a grave ignorance of recent Gridanian affairs. I was told that a sentry by the name of Log Danrel might have a knowledge of routes off taken by Ishgardian fugitives. I'll prefer to keep my identity a secret, and thus would have you gather what information you can from the man. We must act quickly, for you see, Estinian is... But I have already said too much. What matters is that we find our thief in the eye with all haste. When last sighted, Estinian was clad in black armor. Now go, and speak not a word of what I told you to anyone. Alright. Our buddy Estinian is a thief and a fugitive, apparently, now. Man. Quite a role change. Routes favored by Ishgardian fugitives? Now that's a question I don't hear every day. You aren't plotting some unsavory act yourself, are you? Even if you were, I doubt you'd make it far. Any road, we've caught a few fleeing to the North Shroud. What with Gridania being home to nearly as many Elezen as Ishgard, it is no easy task to identify outsiders. If you're on the hunt for someone, you could do worse than to visit Florentel's spire in North Shroud and speak with a man named Idristan. If any suspicious persons have crossed the border in recent days, he'd be the first to know. I think that's just outside. That's just like right before we get into, right before we get in here. A little outpost. Yeah. Hail, adventurer! Yes, I'm the one tasked with monitoring those who enter our lands by way of Korthus. An Asgardian knight clad in black armor? No, I recall nothing of the sort, and such a striking visitor would be difficult to forget. My apologies, friend. I can only suggest that you return to Log down rail and see if he has any other theories. Well, so much for that. We tried. No luck, you say? Most curious. Why, it is not impossible that a fugitive can make it this far without being espied from Florentil's spire, which leaves the possibility that your man is still in Ishgard. It runs counter to good sense. Would the fugitive not want to put a distance of grounds between him and his pursuers? But by the process of deduction, it is a possibility. The climbs of Ishgard are not kind to drifters and vagabonds. That said, there has been talk of curious smoke wafting from a cave east of here at night. Or are you? I might begin my search there. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, so there's a campfire with a bunch of pucks around it. But no Estinian. Oh, there he is! That Ishgard will resort to sending a coin stark adventurers after me. I know not whether to laugh or feel insulted. The eye! It rouses for another? Preposterous. Our paths shall cross again, you can be sure of it. Alright, Estinian. Estinian in his former glory. Kinda, sort of. Dragoon clad in black, you say? Tell me all that transpired. By the fury, that the eye would choose another. I had not thought it possible. In light of recent events, it would seem that an explanation is in order. The eye is no ordinary relic. It harbors the power of the dragon, which it bestows upon a single chosen soul, the strongest and wisest dragoon. He who is chosen is possessed of the power to fight our mortal foes, the dragons of Dravania, on equal footing, soaring the firmament as it were an extension of the land. That man is known as the Azure Dragoon. The Azure Dragoon is the light of hope for all Ishgardians and the paragon of all dragoons. For this reason, you may imagine how it pains me to confess that the man you encountered, the thief, is none other than the Azure Dragoon, and that I was once his teacher. Needless to say, I acknowledge myself accountable for Estinian's misdeeds and mean to do all in my power to find him and recover the eye. But I cannot do this alone. I require your help, Cecilla. You who have received the power of the dragon. You may labor to believe it, but there can be no mistake. The soul of the dragoon I bear glows in your presence, irrefutable proof that you are chosen. What I can ill explain, however, is the why of it. Never before in Ishgardian's long history has the eye aroused to more than one individual in a single generation, but it avails us not to cudgel our brains about it. The fact of the matter is that you are now a vessel for the power of the dragon. That dragon lies yet in slumber, however, and you must needs possess the means to awake it. The soul of the dragoon. I would entrust you with mine, Cecilla. Like Estinian, I once ruled the skies as the Azure Dragoon, although that power has since become lost to me. It was simply by force of habit that I have hitherto kept the soul upon my person. I have no inkling as to why the Eye has seen fit to choose a second and an outsider at that. Yet one thing is clear: none can challenge the Azure Dragoon and conceivably prevail, save another Azure Dragoon. You are our only hope in bringing Estinian to justice and reclaim the Eye. Of course, I do not ask that you do this unaided. I may be a Dragoon no more, but what knowledge I have I shall gladly impart to you. For indeed, when the time comes that you must face the Azure Dragoon, not less than complete mastery over the power of the dragon will avail you. That a perilous road lies ahead of you I shall not deny. Knowing this, if you would still lend me your lance, I will teach you how to harness the power that he has chosen you. Go forth, my young Dragoon, and rouse the dragon within. I look forward to your return. Alright. Dragoon unlocked! Nice. Alright, let's equip our fancy new crystal. Watch our hotbar become a mess again. And bam! Alright. And that is level 30 Lancer and Dragoon quests. So I will fix my hotbars as per usual, and we'll be back when we're level 35. Okay, we're level 35. So, Alberic, what task would you have for me next? It is pleasing to see how readily the dragon stirs within you. You showed great potential, Cecil, a potential that may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Estinian is no ordinary Dragoon. Even when set against the legendary Azures of the ages past, the man is considered second to none. Such as his prowess, in fact, that in the day he was chosen by the Eye, it was proclaimed that Haldreth, the Dragon's Eye, had been reborn. I mean not to disparage your skills, Cecil, but to pursue Estinian in your current state would be a tantamount to suicide. As promised, I shall train you in the way of the Dragoon, and that you might face Estinian as an equal. But before it commenced, however, it is only fitting that you are edified regarding our origins. It all began a millennium ago, past when our forebears resided in the southern plains in humble circumstances. The Fury, impressed with the spirit of our ancestors, decided it was meet that she make them her own. So did she appear before Haldreth's sire, a man of courage and integrity named Thordan, and bade him lead her people to the promised land, to what became the great nation of Ishgard. Their journey brought them to a wide chasm, whereupon Thordan and his people set to building a bridge. It was then that a dark shadow descended upon them, the great worm Nidhogg. Heedless of his own safety, Thordan fearlessly charged at the colossal beast. Last, he was pushed into the chasm by one of his own, a man seduced by the worm, and fell to his death. Taking up the slain sire's lance, Haldreth hurled himself at Nidhogg, even as tears streamed down his face. The confrontation ended when the young man, his hand guided by Halone, landed a mighty thrust that prized out Nidhogg's eye. With a terrible roar of pain, the great worm took wing and fled, while jubilation reigned below. Ishgard's priceless relic is none other than the eye taken from Nidhogg that day. It is a veritable wellspring of dragon power. Even so removed from its owner, it can exert control over the hearts of men. Haldreth himself felt its malign influence, but his love for justice brooked no corruption. He prevailed over the power, claiming it for his own. And so it was that the first Azure Dragoon was born. Being derived from our foe, the power of the dragon is a thing to be loathed. But as Haldreth proved to us all, so long as our hearts burn with justice, we need not fear being taken in its thrall. But what was justice precisely? Justice assumed many shapes and forms, Tesla, and none can say that one is greater than another. So long as you hold fast to your beliefs and stay true to yourself, you leave no room for the power of the dragon to master you. But enough of history. Let's return to our attention to the present. A knight by the name of Sir Brucemont will see you to the next stage of your training. Seek him out at Witchdraw. Alright. I mean, we kind of already have. So let's get a little extra backstory about the Dragoons and the Knights of Ishgard, but we already know plenty enough because we've already been through Heavensward. We've already heard this tale already. Not maybe not the exact same details, but we know the gist of what happened. Where am I going? I'm going down? I'm going down. Way down. No? Where you at, buddy? I still gotta go down. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So the adventurer seeks to become a Dragoon. Ha! Sir Albrecht speaks of legends and chosen ones, but I would see you prove yourself in more practical fashion with your lance. Defend yourself! Oh, wait, come to me. Oh. Nope. No, sir. What you think? You have some skill, I'll give you that, but the glow of your soul crystal. Perhaps Sir Albrecht was not wrong about you after all. Now return to him. Your training here is complete. What? That's it? That's it? Really? You made me come all this way down this chasm just for that. All right. Well, short and sweet, I guess. The soul of the dragon girl is ever stronger within you, Cecilla. Clearly your trial was a rousing success. I need only observe your crystals to know as much. Yeah, so you have only just begun to walk the path of the Dragoon. It is clear you possess the talent to become Estinian's equal. Go forth and make the powers you have obtained your own. When the time is right, we shall proceed with your training. That's it? Alright. That's it. So we'll be back when we're level 30 or level 40. All right, here we are. Here we are, level 40. Alberic, what's next, buddy? Have you any leads? You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. You're slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon, though I must confess that my Poseidon feeling is one of relief. You must understand that the mere thought of the eye would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... but I shall say no more. Lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you on regarding the origins of Dragoons. You will recall how Haldred heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into the possession of the Eye. Tell me, Cecilla, do you believe that these events truly transpired, or are you inclined to think them as fairy tales? I ask you this because we few folk have seen dragons in the flesh besides we Ishgardians, and most would as soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you or I, and Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the great worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians are spilled. But let us revisit the past once more, Cecilla. The time is 20 summers past, and the place Travania. After a century of slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep, foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painting the belly of the sky an angry red, the agonized screams of innocence fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Azure Dragoon, I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg had lingered in one place. Oh, shit. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I waged all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, buried deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh in sentence. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Haloni was not finished with me. Having lost his taste of battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. When I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and I was Azure Dragoon no more. Laying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I failed to protect. The last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estinian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estinian as my own son, instructing him in the way of the Dragoon, where he was of an age to learn. Yeah, would not have you think of me ignoble. My actions were born not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt of having failed him. But alas, I've also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen. You heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of the dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding the stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin might have already stirred from their slumber stirs as fair warning. Time is not on our side. Unfortunately, it would seem you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrop and where the knight Hestinane awaits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Cecilla. Sir, I know all this history. Have you not been keeping up to date with what's going on in Ishgard lately? Apparently not. You're a couple expansion news reports too late, buddy. Apparently this guy doesn't know what's going on. It's weird going through the storyline after going through a Heaven's Ward and everything. Alright. You're the one who would aspire to be Azure Dragoon. Why, you're not even Ishgard. If you truly possess the power that Sir Albrecht sees in you, then prove it to me with your lance. On guard. Alright, I'm fighting dire mites. What is this gonna do? How is this gonna prove my worth? Get out of here, sir! I didn't call upon you. That strength! I've not seen its like since Estinian himself stood before me. Mayhap Sir Albrecht has the right of it after all. Return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he'll be pleased. Alright. Great. That's it? He made me come down to this chasm just for fight a bunch of dire mites. Wonderful. My goal today is try to go through the last 2 quests in Dragoon, get Dragoon wrapped up. That's my goal. It shouldn't be too difficult. You have passed yet another trial with flying colors, Tesla. The day when you may stand before a city as an equal is not far off. And when that day comes, the Eye will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this. But we must be patient still. For now, you must continue your training. When you can do no more on your own, seek me out once more. Great. Alright, that's level 40, so we'll be back when we're level 45. Alright, we're level 45, so Albrecht, what is our next task? What would you have me do now? Double Dragoon! Impeccable timing, Tesla. A message arrived from Estinian but moments ago, much to my astonishment. He would trade words with you and bid us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap, but we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. Alright. We gotta go all the way over there, huh? Let's suit our old boy Estinian wants. The Estinian before we knew Estinian. I gotta go up. I'm surprised there hasn't been a single solo instance yet for Dragoon. Usually we have like 1 or 2 by now for our job. Oh, there he is, the old boy. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estinian, end this folly at once. You must know that each second the Eye passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of the 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the Eye and return with me to Ishgard before it's too late. But it is already too late, Master, for you see Nidhogg has already awakened. What? Hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The Eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that a great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irrepressible rancor for that wound 20 years ago. That rancor would send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Were the Eye taken to a remote land far from the Holy See, then and only then could destruction be averted and the lives of the innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean make yourself bait? Bait yourself? Nay, there is more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than anyone else. It was none other than that to avenge my family that I became a Dragoon. Dragons long outlive men and do not soon forget the wrongs done them. What grudge they harbor burns as a fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When the last heat darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Not short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nidhogg took everything from him. Now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing 2 Azure Dragoons in one generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power. I, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have 2 Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the Great Worm to eternal slumber. Behold my armor. This is the Dragon Mail, forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, as so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. Clad so, you'll inherit the technique passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon down through generations. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Dragon Mail, as I and Sir Albert did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that she learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estinian, wait! Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. Alright. Great. So is there no separate quest? Well, I guess I'll find out, right? It's weird going through the Dragoon story after going through Heaven's Ward. If you've gone through the Dragoon before going to Heaven's Ward, the story would make a lot more sense. But if you do it afterwards, it makes no sense at all, almost. Dragoon is like the only, at least from what I've seen, it's the only job that's affected through the main story quests. Monk isn't really effective for Stormbloods. Dark Knights isn't really effective for Shadowbringers. At least not that I've seen. At least not that I've seen. It's the only Dragoon that's had a really solid impact to the main story quests. Estinian. Forgive me, I was deep in thought. Now then, as to acquiring the armor which Estinian spoke, at first it was my intention to bequeath mine own armor to you. I'm an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It'll be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training right here and now. But it is as Estinian said, the dragon armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragon blood once it came, the blood's power resonating with the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon mine own armor's power, but it's bond to me. It was forged years ago. Were I to bestow it on you now, I fear it would offer but a scintilla of the protection it afforded me in those bygone days. Aye, Estinian has the right of it. You must claim your armor as he and I did before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure, and the powers of the dragon blood be yours and yours alone. The Ogre's Bell will be your final where your final test begins. I shall dispatch Sir Brucemont there. Seek him out upon your arrival. Alright, where am I going? Oh, way up there, huh? Actually, it's faster if I just go back to teleport back here and just fly the rest of the way. Whew. Excuse me, Claris. I need you to get off me. Please and thank you. You've grown strong since you last met, adventurer, but you pale in comparison with your Azure forebears. If you had proved me wrong, let your lance do the talking. Alright. Oh. Once again, adventure, you prove yourself worthy beyond my expectations. Take this and know that your trial has only just begun. Your next challenge lies in the chamber beyond. Sir Hestinine awaits you there. Now, among the Arema-born relic armor, Dragoons and Warriors are the only ones I've really liked the looks of. All the other relic armor from the Realm of Born, I'm not that big of a... Well, no, Paladins is okay. The rest of them aren't that great. You, a foreigner, would don the Dragon armor and prove to us that you will not do it dishonor. Damn Taurus. Sir Albrecht said the eye had chosen you, and it appeared he speaks true. The armor is yours. Wear it with pride and honor. Your trial is not complete, but be forewarned, many before you made it this far only to fall at the final challenge. Do not let overconfidence be your downfall. I got hiccups. Okay, so how did Bruce Monk get in front of me? So you made it this far. Very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure or die in the effort. Alright. You've demonstrated your powers to me beyond a doubt. Aye, there is not an Ishgardian who would gainsay your right to don the armor of dragons. I shall send word ahead to Sir Albrecht, and he will pass your trials here. It is he who will present you with the fourth piece of armor and consummate your training. Go now, my fellow Dragoon, and deliver this land from the Great Worm's wrath. I've already done it. I didn't need to be a Dragoon, and I've already done it. Sir? None of you guys watch the news, apparently. But you're a little late. I've already killed Nidhogg. And I didn't need to be Nazir Dragoon to do so. I think you guys need to start picking up and reading the newspapers. If this Fayors even has newspapers. If they don't have newspapers, how the hell do they get news? That's a good question. I don't think I've ever seen a newspaper in the game, so how do the citizens gain word of any kind of news or developments? I hear from Sir Bruce Monk that you perform most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned that still one last trial awaits you. You will face this trial in the presence of not of knights but of ghosts. Make your way to the Steel Vigil and seek out a gravestone north and west of the structure. Take with you this flute, and when you reach your destination, blow a single strong note. The visitor shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and should he leave behind a present, return it here to me. A present? The fuck's that supposed to mean? Oh, I gotta go up there? You mean I gotta fight in the Horschifon's grave? Alright, well, maybe Horschiphant will be happy to witness us becoming Dragoons. I mean, I guess we've already become Dragoons, but still. Maybe he'll be happy that we become the Azure Dragoon. It's Horschiphant, I'm sure he will. Now, similar to the Black Mage weapon when it comes to glamour, I will be focusing on looks like I'm not alone over there. I will be focusing on Dragoon's relic for glamour as well. A fun fact, this guy will come by here every now and then to pay respects to Horsefant's grave. Look at that. It's one of those things where it's like where Alpha and Omega, you'll see them roaming around the world too. It's kind of like one of those things. It's actually kind of fun. It's actually kind of cool that this game has little things like that. This is a ghost. This is not a ghost. This is a basilisk, I guess. A whatever we want to call this thing. A salamander, whatever. Alright. Hopefully we did Horsefant proud. I mentioned it before, but flying makes getting around these areas a lot easier. Because getting around these areas before sucked on foot when you're trying to do all these quests. Your presence before me indicates you've seen to the visitor. Have you ought to show for your deeds? I got a bone. The Skull of Grey Wine. Old warrior of the Dravanian Horde. It said that ages past he could bring down a castle with a single breath. Really? Him? He was pretty weak. Must have been some weak-ass walls. His strength has dwindled since those days, but a dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you may prove yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of the armor that Estinian, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder about the 5th, I can tell you that only that is not mine to give. Fear not, however, your triumphs in the trials and against the dragon of the horde give evidence that dragon blood now resonates with yours. Yes, you stand before me as prepared for your ultimate challenge as any could be. And yet, before we proceed, I would hear from your own lips. The Great Worm's power is the stuff of legends. If you truly resolve to fight this battle, to risk your own life to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of its ancient foe, when you are certain when your mind is settled, and return and speak to me. I've already done it, sir. So you would join your strength to Estinians so that Ishkar might be free from the rage of the Great Worm forevermore? Then I shall honor my promise. You shall have full use of your powers by the time you are done. Before we begin, there's something I must needs confess. You will recall that tale of my battle with Nidhogg 20 years past, and how the power of the dragon left me on account of the injuries I sustained. What I said was an untruth. The power did not abandon me, Sessa. It was I who abandoned it. Being derived from our mortal enemies, the power of the Azure Dragoon is a double-edged sword. Even as it lends us the strength we need to smite the dragons, and heightens our communion with the creatures, rendering our minds more susceptible to their seduction than ordinary men. Even as I bared my lance in Nidhogg's flesh, our gazes locked, and mine eyes met then with a look that would fair impale a man. In that instant, I found myself assailed by a torrent of emotions not mine own. Sorrow, rancor, pity. They threatened to drown the man in me and leave behind a dragon. Fearing that I might turn traitor, I chose to purge myself of the power that the eye had bestowed upon me. Thus, regaining lucidity, I was able to grow out the grievously wounded Nidhogg. Alas, countless of my brethren yet remained. As if to mock me, they fell upon Fernday with a vengeance. Bereft of my power, it was all I could do to save but one child. Nary a soul knows of this. Nay, not even Estinian. But I can keep him in the dark no longer. At our last meeting, Estinian said that protecting Ishgard and exacting revenge upon Nidhogg are as one to him. That frame of mind, I fear, may well lead to his demise. The desire to protect and the desire to avenge are opposing forces that can ill be reconciled. Whereas the latter serves only to cloud his sense of self. When Estinian and I meet, I intend to confess all, though I mean the loss of his good opinion. The outcome of the coming battle, and his very life, may well depend upon his readiness to relinquish his powers. Never allow yourself to forget the origin of your strength. Ever does the dragon lurk behind your eyes, biding its time, ready to claim you for its own. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will find yourself in its vice-like clutches. So, forewarned, let us return to our present endeavor. I promised to Estinian that I would impart to you the technique that will mark you as a true Azure Dragoon. If you know the truth, however, this knowledge is not within my power to bestow. No, you must claim the technique much as you claim the fourth piece of armor you bear, by proving yourself in battle with the dragons whose power you would unite with your own. I trust you with this flute once more. Take it to the southwest of Providence Point and blow a single note. By locking wills with your adversary and prevailing, you will prove yourself worthy to champion the cause to which your lance is sworn. The dragon within you shall then awaken. Whoa, that's some pretty heavy stuff. Oh. Again, it's easy just to teleport back over here. And then fly up here. See, we're already there. Just like that. Uh-oh. This guy's going in for the kill. What spear is he using? The sound's all fucked up. I'm sorry. Alright. Clearly this guy is not... What gear is this guy using? Why is he have level 1 stuff on? Sir? I think you got a problem there. Oh my god, look at this guy's gear. Oh my god. Not that my gear was bad. Sir, you got a problem. You're wearing the wrong set of gear. You're wearing the wrong set of armor, buddy. Oh my god. No wonder his damage is so damn low. It's good to see you safely returned. I take it from your bearing that the engagement went favorably. You left this place as a woman, says love, but you return as a dragon. There is no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying about the fifth and final piece of the dragon armor was not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. The sheer power of the dragon housed within is such a great many of your Azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly incapable of wielding it. But I do not doubt yet what I see. Within you has awakened the strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you're not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. I remember my warning to you, Cecil, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind. Aught less than complete conviction will you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you must needs master yourself. Hone your lance arm so it can bear no further honing, and then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to your next meeting, my young Dragoon. These guys need a serious news update. He's already dead. I didn't need to become a Dragoon to do it. Alright, that is level 45 quest. So we'll be back at level 50. Here we are, we're at level 50. So Alberic, buddy, what is my final ultimate challenge that you would bestow to me? Cecil, an urgent message arrived from Estinian in your absence. He bids you come to at once to steal vigil. It would seem Nidhogg is on the move, and rather sooner than we had anticipated. It appears you have not yet fully become master of the Drago within you, and yet we are racing against time. I fear we have no choice but to do battle to the best of your current abilities, and without the Dragon mails, as I promised. Now let us away. The city must know the truth of Ferndale, lest he fall for the Great Worm's seduction. Oh boy. Alright, let's do it. Steel Vigil? It's like way... Oh, it's up there. I thought I was thinking over there. Alright. Alright. Let's go face off against Nidhogg before he was Nidhogg. Albert, I have waited long for this day. You who fancy yourself an Azure Dragoon, the man whose cause you have taken for your own is a coward. He relinquished the power of the dragon of his own volition and watched as Ferndale burned. Do you not think it ironic that I was chosen as your Dragoon? I, an orphan who is not of value to protect an Ishgard? I suppose I must give thanks, for it was the eye that revealed to me the truth. A truth so damning as to undo a lifetime of trust. I loved you as a father, but I can ill forgive you for Ferndale. As I understand it, you've kept even the Archbishop in the dark regarding the missing eye. Do you mean to take your shame to your grave? But I waste my breath. Prepare yourself, old man, for I shall lay waste to all the things you hold dear. And once I'm finished with you, I shall do what no Azure Dragoon has succeeded in doing. I shall claim Nidhogg's head. Calm yourself, Estinian. Your rage renders you vulnerable to the dragon's influence. Cecil. In you, I thought I had found kindred. Someone who was beside whom I could fight the Great Worm. It is with a heavy heart that I relinquished that dream. Your affection for this coward has rendered you deaf to your own destiny. Very well. That we would one day cross lands as was inevitable from the moment of our first meeting. As we shall now find out who the eye is true chosen. There can only be one. Alright, let's see how this plays out. I am the eye's true chosen. You shall know it when I bury that's in your chest. Stop this madness. You and Cecil are meant to be allies, not enemies. Ah, yes, the power of the eye, but it cannot compare to mine own. You awakened the dragon, Cecil, now my flame shall consume you whole. Power! I must have more power! Oh, Lord of the Dragons! Yeah. Is this like Unasinian? Is that it? Is that it? Is that really all you got, Stinian? Really? Feeble creature, dost thou desire power? Uh-oh. Look to thine anger and to thy hatred. It is there that thou shalt find. O mighty Nidhogg, Lord of Dragons! Uh-oh. Grant unto me thy blood, that I might be granted with the claws and fangs wherewith to rend thine enemies. Uh-oh. Oh. Who's this? Cecila? This is impossible. It cannot be. That's me. I'm a little tall, don't you think? Oh! Denied. And where'd he go? Forgive me, Estinian. I have failed you once again. I am fine, Cecila. Somewhat shaken, but otherwise whole of body. Suffice it to say that I have much to reflect upon. Let's return to the observatorium. Is that it? I thought there was gonna be a lot more than that. I guess my memory is not what it used to be. Again, this story makes even after going through Heaven's Ward, the story makes absolutely no sense. Now, if you've done Dragoon prior to going into Heaven's Ward, the story might make more sense. But since I went to Heaven's Ward long before I even started this, it makes no sense to me. Because if you're a Dragoon by the time you get into Heaven's Ward, I don't know how much dialogue, but there's some dialogue throughout the expansion. Throughout that story, that's different if you're a Dragoon. You would be referred to as an Azure Dragoon instead of the Warrior of Light, and so on and so forth. I'm not sure how much dialogue change there was, so I can't really say. But I know for a fact there was some dialogue changes. When the being of darkness closed upon us, you appeared to me in the spitting image of Haldreth and the Dragon's Eye, just as he depicted in the Holy Scriptures. I thought that mayhap the years had taken a toll on my mind, but behold, the soul of the dragon shines as it never did in the years I bore it. It would seem you have achieved that which was thought impossible. You have now awakened to the ability that none but the first Azure Dragoon possessed. Truly a momentous achievement. I can still scarce believe that you were able to summon the self-same Draken mail worn by Haldreth. To think that it had been sealed within the soul crystal all this time. I have borne witness to many and more wonders over the years, yet none compares to you, my young Dragoon. Could it be that you are... excuse me? You can't just ramble on like that and just trail off. Mark not my mutterings. I'm certain it was your indomitable sense of justice that resonated with the spirit of the first Azure Dragoon, prompting him to bestow the armor upon you. Yes, that is doubtless what happened. As the being of darkness faded, so too did Nidhogg's aura subside, and now his kind have ceased their stirring. Whether this was compelled by your awakening, I cannot say. I suspect we will learn the truth of it eventually. Stay, my dear boy. Whatever becomes of him, he will ever be as a son to me. I pray that he's somewhere out there still, and that he's not wholly forgotten the great man he once was. When that darkness brushed against me, the same torrent of emotions swept over me as those I had experienced 20 summers past. But there was something else besides. There was a voice, and it lamented the rift that divides dragons and men. You will come to comprehend what I speak in due time. Till then, Cesla, I pray that you will use your newfound strength in the name of justice. Nice. Sweet! I've already done all that. Thank you very much. Alright. And that is the end of the level 1 through 50 Lancer Dragoon quest line. I just realized my mic was like super loud, so hopefully my volume isn't too loud. Shit. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.